Soul. I am really excited to start this new series I have, and this is just going to be a cozy series with some gameplay using mods that I'm really excited to try, some custom aspirations, custom careers, and traits, and a lot of food mods. So this, as you can see, is Windenburg, and this is the countryside. It is the moon, I guess that's the moon. It is a late autumn day in the countryside, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce you. This is the little village that is in the countryside of Windenburg. So this series is going to be starring 5 best friends. They all grew up in San Myshuno, and they in the uptown area. So they're all quite well off, and they went to Simston Private Academy, and that's where they really became best friends. And then they all went off to college, and Bright and Foxbury. And so they have graduated from college, and they are have been in their careers for a few years, and were living in San Myshuno. But as the years have progressed, they are moving to other worlds, other neighborhoods, and their lives are changing. So these best friends have decided that they want to make sure that they always stay in touch, and that they always want to get together and be part of one another's lives. Isn't this just such a cute little village? I think this is adorable in the countryside of Windenburg. So it all started with Annika, and we'll just take a look at Annika now. Here's Annika. Her name is Annika Aguilera, and she is an heiress. Her parents owned quite a few properties. They were partners with the land grabs, so they owned what the land grabs didn't own in uptown San Myshuno. So she was really pushed to do very well in school just from a young age, and kind of has been a perfectionist in her life. And Annika was the only child to her parents, and sadly they split up when she was just a child, and her father moved to Mount Komorebi, and her mother stayed in their beautiful penthouse apartment in San Myshuno. And Annika really didn't have a lot of time with her father, except when she would go skiing and go on holidays. So she kind of spent her life in uptown with her mom, and of course she went to the private school, the academy, which was a boarding school. So when she would come home for the winter holidays, she would go to Mount Komorebi and spend time with her dad. And as she got a little older, he didn't mind if she invited her best friends, because it made it easier for him, honestly. So Annika graduated from Foxbury Institute with a degree in communications, and then she went to work at Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, and really pushed herself hard to work her way up the career ladder. She was really a workaholic, and still lived in San Myshuno in uptown. She moved out of the penthouse, but she moved into a nice little apartment, and she and her mom weren't really very close. She wasn't very close to either of her parents. So we'll get back to her story in a little bit and tell you how she ended up in Windenburg. But I want to introduce you to her other friends. So Annika has moved, I'll just say Annika has moved to Windenburg, and so her friends are all here visiting. She's been in Windenburg in the countryside for about a year now. It's a Sunday morning, and we're going to go take a look at her next friend. And this is kind of the leader of the group. This is Shaya Hodgson. So she is a medical specialist. She has the aspiration of being a guardian of health. She has 2 days off, and let me give you her traits. So she is a coffee lover. She was stoic, which means she's pretty calm, which is important for her job as a medical specialist. She's good. She's a foodie. She is very loyal. She is also fast and fastidious. So she loves to clean. She likes everything very pristine and clean. And so she was a top-notch toddler, and she was also the valedictorian and prom royalty. She is a power sim. She's a morning sim. She's a rising shiner, and she does not want a child right now, even though she is engaged, and we'll show you here. This is her fiance here. This is Lorenzo Mendez. And so they met. This is not one of the friends, but he's kind of become part of the friend group because they have been engaged for a couple of years now. And he didn't go to university right away. So he's from Selva Dorada, and he and Shaya met actually in Mount Komorebi during a skiing trip with the 5 friends when they were going skiing. And he's been working his way through university, and so he was working and doing search and rescue. And so they struck up a conversation. They were both interested in the medical field, and they started dating. And then things got a little bit serious, and he has recently finished his degree from UBright, and he is now a sports journalist. So his aspiration is to be a Mount Komorebi sightseer, and so he's in an extreme sports career. So he's a sports journalist, and the two of them they both lead very busy lives, and I don't see them getting married anytime soon. They are engaged. They are both loyal and committed to one another, but right now they are very happy with the way their relationship is. He lives now in Willow Creek, and that is where Shaya is thinking about moving because it's closer to the medical clinic where she is now working. She now has a job at a medical clinic. Anyway, so she's seriously considering moving to Willow Creek because it is kind of hard for them to their relationship's kind of hard. And I know he is a sports journalist, and they try to get away for skiing weekends as much as possible, and he loves to go with the friends. So we're going to go over here to, this is adorable Zoe, and she's Zoe Yamamoto. And so Zoe's parents were from Mount Komorebi. Annika's parents knew Zoe's parents. So Zoe has the aspiration to have a soulmate. So she's had a couple casual dates, she had a boyfriend in high school and university, it wasn't very serious. He wasn't very serious, but she really would like to meet that soulmate. She is romantic. She's a daydreamer. She has a sweet tooth. She is a coffee lover, and she's an artist. So she works at she's now a mural painter, and she went to Foxbury Institute into the kitchen here where the other 2 friends are. On the right, spinning the bowl around, is Sophie Levine, and she went to UBright also, and she studied biology, and she's a massage therapist and reflexologist, and her goal is to become a self-care specialist. And then over on the left, that is Kaylee Cutler. Kaylee is a sim that I created, so she's not one of the El Cray sims. But she went to UBright, and she excelled and has the culinary arts degree, and was right out of university. She got a job at a very well-renowned restaurant and worked her way up. And she actually published a cookbook and was kind of a celebrity chef. So she has led a very busy, very fast-paced life. Not really much time in her life for to have anybody else than her close friend group, and because working in a restaurant was so busy. But now that Annika has moved to Windenburg, Kaylee has visited her a few times over the past year and really enjoys it. The countryside is a little bit too quiet for her, but they will go and try all the different coffee shops and cafes, bakeries, and everything that Windenburg has to offer. And so Kaylee has fallen in love with Old Plots, the old town in Windenburg. And this leads to why they are all here. There is an old bar, and that went up for sale. And so Annika told Kaylee about it and said, "Hey Kaylee, I know you've been wanting to open your own bakery. I think this has everything you need you just have to install some commercial ovens and whatever, all that kind of stuff. But I think this has everything that you need to make to open up your own bakery. Deley is here visiting and with the support of all of her friends, and she does have enough money that she has saved that she can afford to buy a bakery. So they're going to all this weekend take a look at the bakery and kind of help her out and give her the opinion. So Kaylee will probably, well, of course she's going to, but they don't know it yet, right? But she's going to be moving to Old Town in Windenburg and opening a bakery. So her career is the baker career, and she has the aspiration of owning her own business. This has been a lifelong dream of hers. So we'll go back here to Annika. We just planned on playing with her, and I built this lot and everything just for her, kind of had her backstory. But then I thought, it'd be really fun to make a really just laid back series with friends who want to keep in touch and would kind of go through their lives and see what happens with them. So this is Annika. I'm going to tell you a little bit how she ended up here. Her mom passed on, and so Annika found herself alone in San Myshuno. As I said, she does not have a good relationship with her father. She hasn't really seen him that often. She didn't have a fabulous relationship with her mom, but it was still very sad for her. So her mom passed away 2 years ago, and 2.5 years ago now. And so she just really started thinking about her life. Was it what she wanted for life? Life seemed shorter. She always felt like it was just, she had as much time in the world, but then she realized it's not that long, and her mom wasn't that old. So she really started to reevaluate what did she want to do in life, and just going into the office every day. She would work 6 days a week. Sometimes she'd work at home, and there was more to life, she thought, than just working all the time. So her mom, she knew, was from Windenburg, and so she had also visited Windenburg as a child, but then there was no family left. And she still has her mom's, that's the house she grew up in, the penthouse in Landgrab Towers. So she just didn't want to live there. She was tired of that life, and she also inherited this adorable little cottage in Windenburg. So we'll go ahead and let's see, I don't know if I'm going to keep them paused right now because who knows what they'll do. So let me just show you. This is the cottage. Oh, and I forgot, that's her little Devon cat. That little kitty was her mom's cat. So he's moved with them. He's an elder kitty. So this is this cottage. She pretty much moved in. I really liked everything because her apartment in San Myshuno is all very modern and sleek, and she likes this rustic look. So we'll go here. Let me turn around. So when you come in, you can see here's the entrance, and then we'll go over here. Right over here is the kitchen, and you can see the kitchen has its original stone floors, and there's just frozen in time. So there's a lot of cooking, a lot of counter space for her to prepare everything. But it's all the original, pretty much the original. Everything's original. And Kaylee came out and said, "Oh yeah, your stove is just fine. It's a beautiful, looks, it's seen better days, but works really well. The temperature, it bakes evenly, so she's decided to keep that." And in here, as you can see, we have a floating martini shaker. This is the pantry, and you can see she's already had some herbs and things drying, and that's her little strawberry plushie from when she was a child. And of course she has a fire extinguisher. Here's the ladder that leads up to the attic, and there's nothing in the attic, just some old things. Here's that leads out to the garden. Now I do have Plum Bros. It's a mod for plumbing and heating, so that's pretty cool. She set up an appointment and had all the heating and cooling and the plumbing updated. There's another ladder that goes up to the attic. There's a little dining area here. Look at all those beautiful pressed plants. And we'll go over here. You can see there's her little bar. And it's just a nice, I think, just a nice little cozy living room. It's very small. It's much smaller than her apartment in SimmplyShelli. And you can see there's the vent with the nice warm air and her beautiful new thermostat. And this is her bedroom. So here's her bed. So she just bought this neat little kind of rustic looking bed. There's a bed for the kitty. So as you can see, she loves pillows. And there's pillows everywhere. And she just has a little work area. So she has just resigned her job after a year, decided it was just too much. She has enough funds. She has a small nest egg. And so she is going to become a Plopsy seller. And why, you ask? I mean, what is really spurring on this love of country life? Well, when she was kind of coming out of her sadness after her mom passed, she received a phone call from Miss Crumplebottom in Finchwick, and she had won a little trip to visit for the weekend. It was one of the perks from her job. They had in the office building at Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, they would have these, you would enter like raffles every month. And so it might be something to the circus. You might get tickets to a concert. Well, this was a little weekend getaway to Finchwick. And so Annika absolutely fell in love with the village. It was just adorable. And she was watching, there was some pie judging contest. And so she watched that and she ordered fresh bread. It was absolutely delicious. And she just loved it. And she really wanted to move to Finchwick, but the express line doesn't run. So she couldn't keep her job in SimmplyShelli and work in Finchwick. So that just was on the back of her mind for the next couple months. And then when she realized that, then they settled the estate, that she had inherited this cottage, she knew there was a high-speed line, went right to SimmplyShelli. So it was easy for her to commute. So that's how she ended up here. And she has the country caretaker aspiration. So here's the bathroom. This is an old-fashioned bathroom. It was added on because this stone cottage is old before indoor plumbing. So they added that. And here's her bathroom. You can see it has the original. And there's this nice bath up here. And then she had one of the few things that she added on was they had this space. So she had a shower installed. She loves taking a bath, but she wanted a shower also. And then we can look out here and you can see her beautiful view of, what is her beautiful view? Oh, just of the countryside and geraniums. So there's a nice heated towel bar for her. She has some old fairy lights in a jar and this beautiful old tub and more. This is something that her great grandma did the needlework for, and she also had these cupboards installed. Her things, her makeup's here, and so that's the bathroom with the radiators. They had upgraded it to radiators, but now she has central heat. Okay, and we're going to go into the sunroom. There's a nice little sunroom here. So it's just a little cozy reading area, and as you can see, she enjoys knitting. And then she has a little area for the kitties here. As you can see, there's some storage for linens. And then we're going to go down here. And if we go down here, you can see there is a basement. So we'll take a look around the basement. And she had these installed. So washer, dryer put in, and some cabinets because there isn't a lot of storage. So some of the original things are here, and she's hand drying some things. And there's a place, this is a kitty litter box over here. And you can see she has a water heater. She upgraded that. And there's some preserves and things that she buys from the grocery store in the village, the shop in the village. So that's her little basement area. Cellar, I guess they call it some places. Oh, and I was going to show you here. This is kind of fun. She thought when she was cleaning things up, she found an old pitchfork, an old wagon wheel, and this newspaper was tucked away. So she hung that up and thought that would be kind of fun, just to remind her of the history of the place. And then we're going to go over here, and you can see this 1890. 1890. That was one of her ancestors. Her mom's family made this, so she put that up on the wall. So, and then she has this. This is an original drying rack. She thought that was cute. She hasn't used it yet, but just some of the old things that she found. The old washboard. And of course there's her ironing board. There's an old chest here. She still has a box that hasn't been unpacked from moving. You can see there's some potatoes, just a lot of things. Her broom. She enjoys ice skating. And okay, so we're back upstairs. Little chicken. And we're going to go outside. This leads outside. And she is on the corner lot, going to a much older place. There is also a clothesline. She does have the washer and dryer, but there's the clothesline. And it has a nice little front garden, as you can see here. So she has planted some catnip. And then she was so inspired, she was trying her hand at growing some pumpkins. So we'll see. Look at those beautiful roses. Really pretty. I think it's really pretty. And then this is the entrance to her home, the old flowers. And you can see there's the sunroom. And there's also her kettlebell for exercising. And so this is the little yard in the back. And there is a dog house. So that's what's making her think about a dog. And these little mushrooms keep popping up. That's kind of cool. And over here is a little greenhouse. And that is where there's candle making. So she has bought supplies to make. She wants to make candles and soaps. She's been knitting, and she's been doing embroidery work and learning how to make candles, because she's opening a Plopsy shop. She sold a few things, not a whole lot, but she sold a couple of things. So there's the candles and soaps. And so this is where she comes out and works here. And I think she has a little place for the kitty and some food bowls and some beautiful plants. And look at that view. She just says she can't believe it. It's so much prettier than looking out in the city. So here's the side yard. There's a little entrance for cats or dogs, and you can see there's her bedroom. And that's another shed, but it's now her garage. And here are some fruit trees. That leads into the kitchen. Everybody's still frozen in time. And we'll just kind of go up here. And so she is right on the road, but she doesn't mind at all. She just loves this view. So when we play with her, when she's part of the rotation, this is where we're going to be spending time. I'd like to explore the Windenburg countryside. There are a lot of neat little places, nooks and crannies, and places to go see. So then when we play Deley Cutler, Kaylee's right here, that's going to be in Old Plots, Old Town Windenburg. So doing the baking career and exploring that. And then we'll be in San Myshuno, we'll be in Mount Komorebi, and I have the season set for 28 days. So I kind of would like to play this in current time. This is playing with loads and loads of mods. I'm really looking forward to doing cooking. They all enjoy cooking, and they all have memories and just a lot of really neat things. And I'm hoping that this is just going to be a relaxing, cozy save, a little bit different from doing a legacy save. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, have a simtastic day. Dag dag.